Thanks everybody for being here. Um, yeah, and thank you for the flexibility with rescheduling. Now I was supposed to do this on Tuesday, but yeah, we had some complications with the baby, but yeah, thank you for all your prayers and support. Um, yeah, everything is totally fine. He's going to be uh, in our uh, in our warm house tomorrow. He's just gotta finish up his treatment, and yeah, it'll all be great. Um, so today I wanted to continue on this presentation. Um, last last week I shared about the Quest 27 vision. It's just kind of our next big milestone, reaching for the year 2027, April 2027. Um, and just to recap, we talked about the membership journey, and this is just a really quick recap. It starts in the garden, where it's really just about engagement and it's curiosity from a distance. It's when people notice us. They might see us through social media, through a flyer. Maybe a friend tells them about something they saw at Belvedere, and it's all about being warm and visible to others. The second level is the porch, which is participation. It's about exploring the community, attending events, tasting the culture. And this is all about hosting joyfully, building relational trust. And the next level is the living room. And that's all about membership, choosing to belong. Um, and this is where they've joined. It feels like home. And our job is really to empower purpose and growth. And the fourth level is the upstairs. This is the blessing preparation, where the legacy begins, preparing for the blessing, raising others, support, honor, and multiplying love. So, yeah, each level has a clear threshold and actions that mark the entry and readiness for the next step. And our role is to guide with love, clarity, and purpose at every stage. Um, oh, yeah, and the final stage is the master bedroom and children's rooms. This is all about blessed family life, living the blessing, raising family, leading others, support, honor, and multiplying love. So that's to kind of give the vision and the idea, the concept of the membership journey and the different stages of going through this pathway. And we talked about, um, we talked about how that journey is supposed to, how that journey is supposed to feel at every stage, at every level. Um, so today I wanted to talk about the like, what does that look like? What does that look like in our community? What do these different stages look like in our community? The garden engagement. What does it look like to participate, being a member? How does that look? How does that feel? What programs do we have to make this possible? The upstairs, the blessing preparation, um, and finally, yeah, the master bedroom. Um, but yeah, just to kind of review and jog your memory, I want to just do a quick breakout uh, where you can just share, just like looking at these different stages. What does that look like in our community? Um, and yeah, when you look at this membership journey, you can share, how do you feel seeing this? Does it excite you? Um, are you, or does it confuse you? Just whatever you're feeling about this whole thing, you can share. And yeah, how do you feel we are doing in creating the environment for this whole membership journey to actually happen in our movement, in our local community? Okay. So, yeah, it's just gonna be a quick breakout. We'll do uh 3 minutes with a 60-second countdown timer. Actually, let's do 4 minutes. So about three people per room. So you can share about a minute each. And uh, yeah, we'll see you all soon. Oh, hi, Philippa.
Hi, I'm kind of messed up with my computer here. I might go and join Daryl.
Oh, okay. Got it, got it. So
Okay. Hey.
good. Yeah.
Oh, everybody come back.
Yes. All
Okay.
right. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you guys had a good time in your breakouts. Um, yeah, it's always good to just, talk with each other, right? So, also, it gave us a little bit of time to get everyone here because quite a few people just still joining. So, Um, yeah, so what I mentioned for those of you who just came, today I wanted to present kind of a picture of what the membership journey actually looks like for our community. Some of this is things that we're already doing, and some of this is things that we plan on doing. Um, and so this is just to kind of give the big picture, you know. It's also a chance to kind of appreciate what we're already doing, to see that we actually already have a lot of the pieces in place for this journey, to carry out this journey, to bring people through this journey. But it also highlights areas that are still missing and areas that we still need to work on in order to complete this process. So not all of these things are things that we are doing currently, or some of them we're just doing every so often. Um, and some of them are, yeah, we have plans for. Some of them we don't even have a plan for, but we know that we are going to need something like that. So I'm going to go through this, and feel free to, um, write any questions in the chat that you might have as I go through it, and I can answer them at the end. Um, but yeah, we'll start off with level one. That's engagement in the garden. So again, this is open, low pressure. It's beautiful from a distance. Something about it catches the heart. So what do we have right now for our engagement, for our garden? Um, so a big part of this is our digital outreach. We do have various social media accounts: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We actually have a TikTok. Some of you don't know that. Um, I don't have a TikTok account personally, but Toshiaki probably does, right? Um, and we also have a website, which is it's been improving. I actually think our website's pretty good. And of course, we have our newsletter, our Mail to Light list. So all of those are aspects of digital outreach and engagement that people can get to know who we are through these different channels. We also have opportunities for more like physical outreach. So that's like word of mouth. That would be like flyers that we would print out for our festivals. Maybe a Peace Starts With Me business card. I know Jim Stair has been wanting to create something like that to make it easier to reach out. Physical outreach could also include things like campus witnessing and going out and doing surveys, and all of those things would be more the kind of person-to-person physical outreach, inviting a friend, bringing a guest, all of those things. We also engage through our affiliate organizations like YSP, UPF, ACLC, Women's Federation. I might be missing some, but all of these are ways that people get to know who we are through our different affiliates, or we call them providential organizations. Okay, so that's engagement. And kind of what I'm seeing as like the doorway for us to go from engagement to participation is our seasonal festivals. So I'm not saying that it's not a doorway in a sense that this is the only way to get into the next level, but this is something that we're specifically creating to kind of be a bridge from engagement in the public, people looking in, to walking into the garden and being inside of the atmosphere. So we're going to be doing 3 festivals every year. That's the plan right now. It's the Spring Fest, which we had a really amazing experience just a couple of weeks ago. It's going to be the Family Fest, which we're going to be doing um, in July this year, and it's actually coming up pretty soon. I'll share more about that later. And then finally, we have the Fall Fest. So these 3 seasonal festivals, we want to do it every year, and they're really a great opportunity for people to get their foot in the door into the garden and onto the porch, which is level 2 participation. So again, participation, it's comfortable but undefined. They are being hosted, not yet belonging. They're welcome to come and go. So in participation, people don't necessarily have to be, full-on dedicated, committed members of the community, but they can participate, they can come and they can go, and they can come once a month, they can come once a year, and all of that is participation. So what do we have going on for participation? Of course, we have our community gathering, right? Our Sunday community gathering. We really want to make that into something that is really open, like it says, comfortable but undefined, that people feel like they're being hosted there, um, and feel like they're getting a taste of what it means to be a part of this community. Then we also have our community ministries. These are ministries that are more kind of niche. They have more of a specific um, purpose or intention. So we have our Belvedere Peace Garden. That's we are calling our garden. And for those of you who didn't know, it does have a name. It's the Belvedere Peace Garden. Um, and then we also want to develop various other small groups. This is kind of an example of a small group that we're really trying to grow and invest in, is the gardening team. And then another thing we want to do is like community seminars. And an example of that would be like a master class, like the one that Raul and Rumiko-san led. Community seminar is more like something that a member feels inspired about. They have something that they really want to share, whether that be about, a diet that they're really excited about, or an exercise routine, or meditation, or yoga, or they want to do a half-day seminar about um, learning how to bake. All of these could be different kind of community seminars that we want to empower our members to put on. Um, then we also have the Peace Starts With Me participation. So we have the TGIF Friday that's coming up this Friday as the first one. We're going to start doing that. We're going to change it to the first Friday of the month just to make it very easy and simple. Peace Starts With Me concerts is something that I want to explore in the future. And then the Peace Starts With Me 21-day journey. So this is, we've talked about this a few times, 21-day challenge, membership challenge. I've called it a few things at various times, but after going to Las Vegas and kind of getting the vision of Peace Starts With Me, I felt it was a good fit to call it the Peace Starts With Me 21-day journey. And this would be the 3 weeks. Um, but in the past we've done it like 3 kind of lectures for Peace Starts With Me. But I want to make it more about your own kind of personal growth, personal development, finding that inner peace, your personal journey. Um, and that would be a very enriching and exciting program that I want everyone to feel comfortable to go through yourself, and comfortable to invite someone through that journey. Um, and the kind of exit, and that journey would lead people towards membership form. Couple of some other things for participation. We have the special grace, which is a very special opportunity that we have. It doesn't happen every year, but we have it And it's a really great opportunity for people to kind of come back if they've been distant for a while. Um, we also have some opportunities for next gen participation, Peace Cup. We want to develop service projects. We have up and coming. We want to develop a children's summer program for all the kids and parents who are looking for things for their kids to do over the summer. Um, I am one of those parents who's looking for things for my kids to do over the summer, so I'm excited about that. Um, and then we also have our affiliate, different kinds of programs that we put on. So the Ambassadors for Peace appointment ceremonies, the with Women's Federation, we have Her Tribe and the Bridge of Peace ceremony, prayer breakfast with ACLC, Peace Cup, just to name a few. Um, and one idea actually is to create some kind of system where these affiliates not only sign membership with, the National Organization of Women's Federation or ACLC, but they sign some kind of affiliate membership form locally where they would commit to, a few things, maybe a monthly membership fee, which would be kind of like a donation. They would commit to participating regularly, maybe once a month in a prayer breakfast or whatever it might be. And basically everything that we kind of hope members will do, participate regularly, contribute somehow their time and financially, so that we can kind of really claim these contacts that we've been really nurturing, claim them as kind of official members of the community. Um, and the entryway from participation to membership is, of course, the membership form that we've implemented last year, and we had quite a few people sign the membership form last year. Um, so that leads us to level 3, which is membership. And this is the living room, so to speak. It is warm, it's stable, it's shared. They're invited to sit, help in the kitchen, and maybe even decorate. So some of the things that we have for membership, um, joining a volunteer team. So whether that be the AV team or the music team or the greeter team, we really want to encourage members once you become a member to have a role in the community, even if it's a small role, even if it's something like, baking cookies on Sunday, like Jamel, creating the baking ministry. There's many things that people can offer. We also want to do some kind of 8 week or some kind of program mentorship and study to more help people to integrate, to learn about things like the value of tithing, the value of service, the value of attendance, um, some kind of program to better integrate people. Um, and then there's other programs, other things that more like for members, the discourse on True Mother's Revelations course, that we're going through, at night these days. There's the Chunchuan prayer vigils. Um, there's also things like the Korea pilgrimage to the Cheonwon-gun. Really want to encourage members to go to Korea, experience that. Of course, they can do that even in the participation phase as well, anytime really. And then there's also the HJ Chumbo Great Works events and Kodan. If they're maybe if they're Japanese, they can join Kodan, right? Um, and at some point, we also want to create some kind of leadership track where we can train people to go from members to real substantial ministry leadership, where they can form their own ministry and lead it, become maybe start off as a small group leader and then eventually go on to, um, leading a core ministry or something like that. But some kind of pathway towards leadership. Um, and then going from membership to level 4, the blessing, the intro to the blessing course. This is something that it's not quite, we don't quite have something substantial for this yet, but it is something that headquarters is trying to work on and develop. So that leads us to level 4. That's the blessing. This is upstairs, the sacred space. It's sacred, focused, quiet, full of prayer, questions, and personal reflection. Um, and once people get introduced to the blessing, then that would lead them to signing up for the HJ Blessing Guide, where they can be guided through the different pathways towards the blessing, whether they're a new member or a next generation. They can find a pathway towards the blessing, the matching and blessing through the HJ Blessing Guide, connecting with the matching supporter potentially, and yeah, eventually attending the cosmic blessing ceremony. Okay. And that leads us to the next stage, which is level 5, Blessed Family Life, which is the whole home, full of laughter, service, challenges, and love. It's the engine of tradition and community. So, what do we have going on for this? We have the wonderful care team. We have, once you're blessed, you can become a matching supporter to support young people or older people. I mean, anybody who wants to get matched and blessed. Um, we would love to create some kind of blessed family education series. What does that look like? Raising children as a blessed family. What is that? What does a blessed marriage really take to create? Things like that. There's also TribeNet for really keeping in touch with, the providence that's going on in America and around the world, et cetera, et cetera. Um, so there's that is kind of what we were mapping out. And there might be something that's missing here. And uh, please let me know if there's anything that's missing from this picture. Um, there's definitely a lot that, as you can kind of see, the further it goes down, kind of the less developed it is in some sense. We don't have a whole lot for the blessing. I mean, we have wonderful matching supporters, and we have a BFM coordinator and kind of individual support, community support, but it's kind of very informal at this point. Um, and then Blessed Family Life, that was for me kind of difficult to think about what do we actually have to support our blessed families going forward, because it's not really an area where we've invested a whole lot. We have a care team, which has really been great for especially supporting our elder members and keeping that sense of community. But yeah, this whole blessing education, blessed family education is really, I feel, kind of a missing link for this whole thing. Um, but yeah, we will build this system out gradually. It's going to take time and effort to put the system together. Um, so that's just to kind of give a sense of the big picture. And I want to go into the levels of development now. So as you can see, I put kind of different colored boxes around each of these, and that represents a different stage of development. So I'm just trying to like systematize this so that we can create a system for constant improvement of what we're doing. So red means that there's no real plan in place, and it really needs an owner to take ownership over that. Um, Yellow means there's a plan in place and someone taking ownership, but maybe it hasn't happened yet. Blue is that it's happening or it happened, but there's low systemization. So maybe it's not something that happens consistently. Maybe it's not something that happens with a consistent team, but it does happen, and that's good. And green is that there is an established system. So maybe there's a team, maybe there's a regular schedule, there's a kind of a rhythm and a routine to it. Um, but the tracking needs work. So tracking is really important to give us some kind of metrics that tell us that we are being successful and we are fulfilling our desired outcomes and mission. Um, Without some kind of tracking, then there's no real way to tell if we're on the right track. We're just kind of going by our feelings or our thoughts or our ideas, thinking, oh, maybe this is a good idea, maybe that's a good idea. But unless we actually get the real data, it's hard to tell if something's a good idea or not. So the kind of gold standard that we want to reach for all of our initiatives and programs is that there's an established system. That means there's a team in place or there's a very consistent owner. There is consistency in the routine, and there's also maybe documentation. It has a mission statement, has goals, and there is tracking in place where we are able to track the progress of that program. So to go into it, trying not to, hope you're not overwhelmed at this point, but we're recording this, so you can always watch the recording if you get confused or get tired. Um, but good news is that we've been making a lot of progress in our digital outreach strategy. Um, we are systematizing it, we are tracking it. Um, Either, green, which means there's a system in place, or it's the gold standard where we're actually tracking. Um, and I don't know if you're into social media, but if you haven't seen our Instagram lately, then please take a look because we've made really amazing improvements um, to our digital footprint. You can see really nice professional looking pictures, videos, quotes. Um, we advertised about Springfest very consistently on our social media, Instagram. We highlight events, projects. There's sermon clips on our Instagram. There's also quotes from true parents. Um, Same content pretty much is copied onto our Facebook as well. So we've got videos and pictures and all kinds of things on our Facebook. Um, and yeah, we've been getting some attention. I did receive a random uh, message from Pastor Joshua. He said, "Hello, Pastor. I'm curious who's running your social media account. It's nice these days." And he says, "I feel happy when I see it." So that's great feedback, right? Um, yeah, it takes time for these things to get noticed, but with consistency, um, I think there's potential here. We're also going to work more on our YouTube channel and so on and so forth. But another thing is we are very consistently tracking the progress. We've got stats on things like our views and our interactions, and we're seeing how it's changing over time and analyzing it. Um, we have a we have a dashboard that's tracking our total followers across all of our platforms and our unique reach and so on and so forth. So again, this is going to help us to determine, is it working? Is it not working? What can we, come up with new strategies and try new things to better enhance um, our statistics and our engagement, right? Because that's the first step. People just need to know that we exist, and they need to see the beautiful and wonderful things that we're doing. I mean, there's just so much good stuff here. Um, so one area that you can help out with is to subscribe to all of our platforms. Go to our YouTube and please subscribe to our YouTube. Subscribe to our Instagram if you use Instagram. Subscribe to our Facebook. I'll put the link to all of these links in the chat. Um, and please like posts. Reverend Dunkley talked about this on Monday that this is important. We need to flood social media with positive content, with godly content that can inspire people. So if you see something that inspires you, give it a like, right? Leave a comment, say this is beautiful, whatever. Take some time to actually interact and engage. And that's going to help us, if we do that ourselves, then that's going to help these posts get more traction, um, go viral potentially. We can have some viral posts go out there and get a lot of eyeballs on the wonderful things that we are doing in a local community. So as Reverend Dunkley said, it's very important to be engaged with the national social media, but also the local social media. This is really where people are going to find a pathway towards local engagement and membership is through the local channels. Um, so both are important and definitely want to encourage that you engage in uh, all different levels of um, social media. So put that in there. And yeah, physical outreach. Again, there's things that we've got going, systematized. We need to work on some of the things. Those are the things in red. Affiliates are, we've got good systems for them. They happen, but we're really missing any kind of way to track progress with those. Um, and tracking doesn't mean necessarily that the ministry leader might know, but if I don't know, then it's not the gold standard. It has to get to that point where I know the progress that I can see, that reports are coming, that I can offer up to now Kimi and Reverend Dunkley to say, this is the wonderful numbers and statistics and, all these numbers tell a story about what's happening. So, um, in our participation, again, we've got things that are systematized, some things that we need owners for, some things that have happened, but there's no system for. Peace Starts With Me, we've got plans for this, and they're going to be unveiled soon. Um, and then Special Grace is one example of something that's systematized and tracked. We know exactly who took the Special Grace this last time. So all of these things, we want to get them up to that gold standard of they're systematized and they're tracking and reports are happening. Membership form, that's yeah, clear systematization and reporting. Membership levels, right? There's a lot of things in the blue, which is, it's happening, but there's not really any system for it. Or it's red, there's really no plan, there's no owner. Um, Green, I would say Chanshu One is something that is happening regularly, so it's somewhat systematized. Kodan has a system where they have teams and this and that. Um, so again, we want to just make effort to increase to the next level of systematization and professionalism. Um, this one, again, that's headquarters is developing. HJ Blessing Guide, that's something that is systematized and trackable. Um, and then we've got things in our blessed family life that are systematized or we're planning on it, but nothing that is really trackable right now. So the reason why this is important is it's for the ministry leaders, but it's also for all of us. We can all help in this effort to how are we going to level up, right? It's okay if we're in the place we're at. If we're red, that's okay, as long as there's effort to get into yellow. And if we're in yellow, that's okay, as long as we're making effort to get into blue and green and gold and so on and so forth. It's not, I'm not trying to say anyone's doing a insufficient job at anything. It's just giving a pathway to leveling up to the next level. Okay. Um, but yeah, again, this is just to kind of give a sense of where we're at. And if you have people that you're interested in, it's good for all of us to know what is the pathway. And the pathway is not one linear straight line, like everyone's going through this one direction, but there's options and there is, these different phases and different things that people can engage in. Um, and the point is to gently and lovingly guide people through this pathway, um, to eventually have them become a blessed couple and a blessed family. So yeah, I will try to share this thing. So if you want to explore it on your own, you can. Um, there's more to share than what I'm sharing right now because I don't want to, yeah, make this too overwhelming. But I am thinking that we can have another meeting, maybe a final meeting to go through all of this, but who knows? It might take longer. Um, but the next thing I want to go over is basically our team. So that would be part 3 is the team that we're building, the team that we're developing, the team that we are. Um, and so the next level of this is to see, okay, who are the people that are actually owning these different aspects of these programming, and who's owning it now, and who is the plan to own it in the future. Because there's going to be a lot of changes come July. We're going to be getting new staff members. We're going to be getting something called an advance participant, somebody who's going to be leading missionaries because we are a strategic community now. We are going to get a next gen pastor who's going to be coming probably in July as well. And there's going to be some shifts, some leadership shifts. So a lot of exciting things, developments, and there's a lot to look forward to, a lot to be excited about, and also a lot of work to do. So if we want to get there faster, then it's going to take effort from all of us. And yeah, anything that you can offer makes a difference, whether that be your time, your tithe, your consistency, your encouragement, your prayers, all of that matters. Okay. All right. Um, so that was it. I'll pass it back to you, Mika. Thank you, everybody.
Great, thank you, Pastor Justin. Really appreciate you sharing all of that. And yeah, I think we're all probably just digesting it, but there are some things in the chat. Um, just see. Someone said either David or Julia Okamoto, I don't know who, but DP going deep seminar and workshop. I think that was referring to what else can be offered or what else we would like to see in the community. And then there was a question, have we made physical contact from social media and how is that going? Noah Ross.
Yeah, it's a good question. Um, it's kind of it's kind of hard to tell at this point. There are ways to track that, like if we have a check-in form at the Spring Fest and we ask people, "How did you hear about us?" and they can check a box and say social media, right? That's a way we can get to know if there is that transition from social to physical. But we haven't, again, that's something that we need to systematize. We need to track it better. That's something that I thought about last Spring Fest is, when we did the registration, oh, we should have asked those questions. So next time it's all a learning process. Um, so yeah, I don't have an answer to that that would be accurate. Um, I do believe that social media does help, especially for our next generation, to know what's going on and to see like, oh, Springfest is happening. Oh, Peace Cup's happening. The next generation don't really look at their emails as much, and they're primarily informed through social media. So even if it's just helping our next generation know what we're doing and have a more positive impression of our community, that's a positive. That's a plus, right? And um, at some point, of course, we want to get it to a point where someone finds us on social and then they come to our Spring Fest, definitely. And we're even thinking about trying, Facebook ads and exploring that avenue of um, attracting people. Um, but yeah, we're working on that. So, but yeah, that was a great question. Thank you, Noah.
Right. Yeah, was there anything else or anyone else have a question or even like a comment? Oh, there's a question. Do we get new people in the system from Springfest?
That's a great question. Another great question. Um, we might have actually. I haven't gotten a chance to actually go through the registration data. Um, we're trying to create a very robust tracking system for all kinds of attendance of events. We're actually working on the sub-regional level. And again, that's once we have things at that kind of standard where we can actually answer that kind of question that you asked, Noah, we're going to be in a really good place. So that's definitely where we want to get to. We're not there yet. But yeah, we're on our way. Yeah, Lynn, you are correct. We need better advertising for our great events. I agree with that. Our events are pretty great. People just need to get to know that they exist. So yeah. Okay. Okay. I do want to make one announcement before we head off, if that's all right. Um, yeah, I mentioned we are doing the three big festivals. Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Mhm.
We are doing three main festivals for people to engage and participate. And the next one is going to be the Family Fest, which is we've done this every year. We tried to do it as a local event last year, but it's happened as a national event every year for I don't know how many years. But this year it's going to be on July 13th, so it's about 30 days away. And it's going to be the day after the Chumbo event, as usual. Those two events they go together. Um, and it's a headquarters event, but I did talk to the headquarters team and I asked if we could take the lead in actually planning it and advertising it because headquarters has a million other things on their plate, so they tend to do a lot of things, last minute or a week before. So I figured if we take ownership of it locally, that we can at least get a head start. And they thought that was a great idea. They actually really appreciated it. So we will have the Family Fest on the 13th. The schedule is going to be 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. This is very preliminary, but the idea is to have an opening ceremony, to have the Family Fest activities, and to do a Peace Starts With Me concert. Um, and yeah, one thought, one thought is to um, have a cause that is much more relevant and understandable to the outside world. So one thought was youth mental health advocacy. That kind of goes very well with the whole idea of Peace Starts With Me. So we're thinking maybe the benefit concert can support um, some kind of organization that has to do with youth mental health advocacy. Um, yeah, so headquarters is going to manage the finances of this event, so we can have a boost in what we can do. They'll support with uh, production staff and make it, so that it can be quite professional. But yeah, we're going to be doing most of the planning. Um, my goal is 800 plus people. Um, these can be people that just come and go. That's totally fine. But I want to have at least 800 people walk through the gates and 200 of those people being non-members or non-active members. I'd like to partner with 8 to 10 community partners. Um, and then we have our team. I'll be overall coordinating. Sunil will be our volunteer recruitment. Mika most likely will be doing vendors and booths again. Production staff will be headquarters. We'll provide the production staff. And usually Belvedere Property supports with setup and logistics since it's a national event. Um, and we also provide volunteers for that. Um, and we're going to have an outreach coordinator who's going to be contacting different partner organizations, also most likely going to be working with YSP again. But this is also a great thing for all of our affiliate leaders, ACLC, UPF, Women's Federation, to think about this as an opportunity to invite your contacts and create partnerships. They can, have their own info booth. Maybe there's a space for them to say a few words during the concert or the opening ceremony. We have our marketing team and we have physical outreach. We're going to have that the advanced participant coming. And yeah, anyway, some details that it's more internal that not everyone needs to know. So I'll stop there. But yeah, this is coming up. I know it's coming up very soon, but we are going to try to get marketing materials out as soon as possible. So yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to share.